NT Loop Mini. I call these reverse hip extensions. Some people call these reverse hypers, but you're really not hyperextending at your lower back. At least that's not what the form most people are looking for. What they're really looking for is minimum extension at the lower back, maximum extension at the hips, with the addition of the band, pushing my legs apart and turning my toes out. Really get that extra glute work, because your glutes don't just extend your hips, they also externally rotate your hips and abduct your hips. So by adding the NT Loop Mini there, you get all three. Now, I want to talk about whether you should use a stability ball or a bench to do these reverse hypers if you don't actually have a machine that allows you to do it. I prefer to do a stability ball, and I'll show you how to do both sides. Both sizes of a stability ball if you don't have a bigger ball here in a minute. I've seen a lot of people in the last decade or so using a bench to do this. So they have the incline bench upright, they go over the bench, and they basically put the bench right here and virtually impale themselves like they're a samurai who has no more reason to live. You know, that's fine to do, terribly uncomfortable. There's no reason you need to punish yourself to do that. When a stability ball is far more comfortable and gives you just as much range of motion, add the mini loop to push your legs out, and you got a glute killer. So, you know, a lot of people have gotten away from a stability ball because a lot of people have abused it and done silly circus acts with it. It's still good for a lot of other exercises that are non-circus act, basic exercises like this. Now, if you have a larger ball, well, the key, regardless of the size of the ball, is you want to minimize lumbar extension, maximize hip extension. So if you're really far back this way, and I lift my legs, I just fall backwards. So I have to get my weight further forward. So I want my weight further forward. What I like to tell clients, I've been doing this exercise for 20 years, is keep the apex, your hips over the apex of the ball. And I want to flex my spine over the ball. Why? Because if my lumbar is flexed, it's less likely that I'm going to be able to extend my lumbar to go up. As I go up, pushing the legs out. Now, for a bigger ball, relative to my size, in this case, I would have my head down, elbows bent, but I'm kind of in this like, almost like a push-up type, you know, position here, right? Now, what happens if I have a smaller stability ball? Because I don't have access to one ball, maybe I have one at home. Well, if I go like this here, I can't really get down that low. No problem, look, go on your forearms, place your forehead right on your fists, and there you go. So if you're doing this correctly, the ball should not be moving underneath you. You should be moving over top the ball, and you should not be dipping forward, and it's certainly not a contest to see how high and as far over your head you can get your legs, just until your body is straight. Far more comfortable than a bench. All the benefits. Add that NT Loop Mini around your ankles or around your feet to really get a more glute work.